It's a Better Tomorrow, the trilogy from Shout Factory, 4K Blu-ray dual format. Hell yeah. So, I don't know, if you follow me on Twitter, maybe you'll know that I had jury duty on Monday of, it was whatever, November 17th. This came out November 18th of 2025. I was dismissed early from jury duty. I thought this was coming on Thursday, so the 20th. I thought it was going to be a couple days after the release date because that's what the shipping notification that I got said. And I came home from jury duty on Monday early, and it was sitting on my porch. I had a couple hours before I had to pick my kids up at school, so I just threw on A Better Tomorrow and I watched it. So I've watched the first two movies now. I have not watched the Workprint, which is what everyone is talking about with this release, and I have not watched A Better Tomorrow 3 or the Taiwanese cut. The Taiwanese cut is another thing that a lot of people have asked me about. I will be watching those. I will be doing videos about them. They will probably be Patreon exclusive videos. I just recorded a Patreon exclusive review of the first A Better Tomorrow film. It's about 25 minutes long. That's going to have all of my thoughts and everything on that movie in there. And then I'm going to be doing one on A Better Tomorrow 2. I will be doing another one on the Workprint. I will be doing one on A Better Tomorrow 3. And then I might do one on the Taiwan cut, depending. The Workprint is an alternate version of A Better Tomorrow 2 that apparently is more true to John Woo's vision of the film as opposed to producer Choi Hark's vision of the film, which is a lot of which ended up in the cut that we all know and have seen. And that was recently rediscovered, the Workprint. And I think it's like 2.5 hours long. And so a lot of people have just gone straight to that because they want to see what's in there. And I think there's 30 minutes of never before seen footage in there and stuff like that. So let me just show you what you get when you buy this release. It is a hard case. If you can hear me knocking on it, all three discs have their own, or all three films, excuse me, there's 7 discs here, have their own cases within here. So here they all are here. A Better Tomorrow, the first one, is one of my favorite movies ever, and the 4K just looks so good. It doesn't look as good as Hard Boiled, not because I don't think they did as good a job here, but because Hard Boiled had a bigger budget, and I think just kind of looks better, generally speaking. But I liked this more not only because I liked the movie more, it felt a lot, and I was talking about this, and we have a Discord for our Patreon, and I was talking with people about this in the Discord for the Patreon the other day. It felt like watching the 35mm print, like more so than I think any other physical release I own. I felt like when I was watching the 4K this movie, like I was at a movie theater watching a print. I saw, 2 days before I watched this, I saw Alien, the 1979 original, at the Academy Museum on an incredible 35mm print. And just the colors, the textures, the lighting, the costumes, the sets, everything about it looked so good. It was like a revelatory rewatch for me because I've seen that movie on VHS. I've seen it on DVD. I've only seen it once on Blu-ray. Mostly I've seen it on VHS and DVD. So to see it like that, it was really revelatory and incredible. This was it was a really amazing experience. Having just seen Alien, this is the 4K disc, on this incredible, and this is the Blu-ray, 35mm print, watching this movie, the colors, the depth of the images, the texture of it, and the fact that you can really see that this was not a big budget movie, that there's shots that are out of focus. You can tell they're using different types of film stock in different scenes. There's some scenes that aren't lit that well, they're shot at night and they obviously didn't set up a bunch of lights, and so it looks grainy and dark, and you can see the history of the film in the presentation here. And I think that's really, really special and incredible, especially for a film that means so much to me personally, but that I also know means so much to so many people. And I did a pretty long review on Letterboxd of this film. And like I said, I just recorded a big 25-minute long review of it. It's a really amazing film. There's a audio commentary from James Mudge on here from Eastern Kicks. There's a brand new interview with John Woo, a brand new interview with Terrence Chang, who's the producer, a brand new interview with screenwriter Chan Hing Ka, a brand new interview with filmmaker Gordon Chan. There's a new Gareth Evans interview, who directed The Raid, The Raid 2 and all that awesome shit. Havoc, most recently. There's Inside A Better Tomorrow with author Grady Hendrix, and then there's the James Mudge commentaries on both discs. It's on the 4K and the Blu-ray. A Better Tomorrow 2, I just watched this last night, so I'm hoping to record a review on this today as well. That'll go up in Patreon probably next week. Here you have the back. But, yeah, it's a really interesting movie, and I have a lot of things to say about it, having just rewatched it. Kind of a mess, but kind of amazing. It's a very unique film. And then we have, I believe that's the 4K disc, right? Yep. And then there's the Blu-ray. And there's an interview with John Woo on here as well, which I watched this morning. It was really interesting. There's an interview with Frank Jeng on here, which is awesome because Frank is not on here on commentary tracks. This one has James Mudge as well. So you get to hear Frank's thoughts on it, which I really liked. And then Grady Hendrix is on here as well. And then we have, this is A Better Tomorrow 3, Love and Death in Saigon. If you know the film, you know the film. Directed by Choi Hart, not by John Woo. So this is the 4K presentation of that film. Here is the Blu-ray, and then disc 7 is the bonus. There's the Nita Mui. Disc 7 is the bonus Blu-ray, and so the bonus Blu-ray has both the long-lost A Better Tomorrow 2 Workprint featuring over 30 minutes of never-before-seen footage and A Better Tomorrow 3 Love and Death in Saigon, the Taiwanese cut. The total length of that disc, I think, is written down. I thought I saw it somewhere. Because that's how you can kind of tell the length of the Taiwanese cut based on the length of the whole disc. It's like 5.5 hours or something. Yeah, total runtime 4.5 hours. So then it would be 2 hours for Love and Death in Saigon. And Love and Death in Saigon is listed at how long here? 119 minutes. So it sounds like it's about the same length. But and I haven't seen the Taiwanese cut before, so I don't know what the differences are. But A Better Tomorrow 2 looked very, very good in 4K. Like, the final action scene just looks like ridiculous in 4K. The Anchor Bay DVD is my primary source of the first two A Better Tomorrow films, and so that's kind of what I'm referencing. And these, they look really so much better. And the subtitles, I had no problem with them at all. Several people have asked me on social media, like, what about the subtitles? Because I know there's this controversy about the fact that supposedly Shout is using inferior subtitles. The movie is still the movie to me. Like, all the characters are who I know them to be, and the events of the film are what I know them to be, and the emotional conflicts, like, nothing has changed. I didn't notice anything that was like, you know, like sometimes you'll buy a movie from Hong Kong and it'll have subtitles on there where you're like, what? Like, it literally doesn't make sense, right? And there was no moment here where I was like, that sounds like a wonky translation. Again, I don't speak Cantonese, so I don't really know how... I should also just realize I didn't tell you what the bonus material on the third disc here is, but I can't listen to what they're saying and then read the subtitles and be like, that's wrong, right? So, like, I can do that with Spanish. So, for, like, with Y Tu Mamá También, right, I have, like, 3 versions of that movie. Subtitles are all different, and none of them are really exactly what they're saying, but it's close enough that you get the point of the film, right? There was nothing here where I was like, oh, that doesn't seem right to me, right? Like, the subtitles are fine. I have no problem with them at all. So, on this... on the Blu-ray disc of this with the bonus material, so there's a commentary from author and critic David West. That's on both the 4K and the Blu-ray. On the Blu-ray, you get a new interview with screenwriters Yu Ming Lung and Fu Ho Tai. You have a new Inside a Better Tomorrow 3 with Grady Hendrix. You have a new interview with Hong Kong filmmaker and academic Gilbert Poe. Then you have a new interview with Vietnam War researcher Dr. Ariel Basha E. Novoset. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. And then there's the David West commentary on that as well. So, yeah, I mean, I said that Hardboiled was my release of the year, and for a single film release, I absolutely still stand by that. Generally speaking, of all releases, I might put this above it because I do like A Better Tomorrow more than Hardboiled. It's a very special film to me. It's a very emotional film. And it has a lot of really special qualities to it that I think give it this lightning in a bottle feel that none of... I mean, like, really, there are very few movies that have that feeling like you're watching history, like a cultural zeitgeist is happening. Like you're actively watching someone invent a new language of cinema, a new way of telling stories by taking, like, melodrama, action, by foregrounding violence and making it action spectacle, not just like... You know, like in a lot of movies, like if you look at movies that came out before this film that have great violence and action in them, be they a film like Long Arm of the Law, or if you look at American films like movies like The Godfather, The French Connection, and stuff like that, action sequences are often a point of tension and are accomplishing like a plot point and moving on. Here, John Woo really leans into the spectacle of violence and the emotion of violence through the very visceral nature of like the blood and the shooting. Right? And so it becomes more than just a piece of tension or a plot point along a way towards achieving a goal. It is a central piece of the narrative of the film, but even more so than that, is a central piece of the experience of character, therefore experience of author or audience, excuse me, and an emotional kind of crucible that these people go through to be transformed, right? And that's what the film is a medium. Narrative film is a medium of character transformation from which derives emotion and our understanding of the audience of what this person is going through and what that experience is that we can relate to, right? And I think that's one of the greatest movies ever for that. The second one is such an amazing action spectacle, and there's so many interesting things about that film. There's pieces of it I hate, but for the most part, I really love it. And then the third one I haven't seen in years, so I'm very excited to check that out again. I'll probably watch that tomorrow. My name is Will. You're watching Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. Let me know what you think about this release, what your favorite releases of the year are, what you're most excited about for next year, and all that jazz. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.